bright England shirts and St George's flags all across Twickenham. You can see little pockets of Welsh supporters in their red, the red bobble hats, the red shirts. We are minutes away. England against Wales, and Matt Dawson and James Hook. It's a little bit greasy, but pretty decent day for it. No excuses on the weather front, you wouldn't have thought.
No, beauty. Absolute beauty of a day. Just before we do go any further, my dad's never going to forgive me if I don't mention the fact that I was named after JPR Williams.
Oh, never.
I know you're frowning at me, but he gave me 3 initials and wanted me to be known as MJS Dawson,
right?
Because of the legend of JPR Williams.
Just sounds so cool.
Yeah.
The 3 initials.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it didn't work because everyone just called me Dawson,
or Matt,
or I can't say the word that they would call me.
Oh well, what a legend JPR was. And when it comes to this fixture, when we sadly lost him in January, you looked at his record, James, had never lost to England. It's inconceivable, isn't it?
It is. It's incredible. That era, JPR Williams, Barry John, Phil Bennett. I grew up watching the VHS tapes of those players, and myself and my brother used to go out into the garden after watching the videotape and just emulate basically what they did, and just legends of the game.
Can this current crop channel the memories of those greats and win here, where only 2 Wales sides in the Six Nations have done that? 2008 with James Hook at fly half, and 2012. England through George Ford are going to kick off. They're Marler, George and Stewart in the front row. It's OJ Chess in the second row. Roots, Underhill, Earl the back row. Mitchell partners Ford at half back. Dingwall, Slade in the midfield. Elliot Daly, Tommy Freeman and Freddie Stewart make up the back 3. For Wales, it's Gareth Thomas, Elliot D. Kieran Azarati, Zafford Jenkins, the skipper, and Adam Beard, Alex Mann, Tommy Raffel and Aaron Wainwright the back row. Thomas Williams and Johan Lloyd. What a day it is for Lloyd. 22, first international start. Nick Tompkins and George North, solid, experienced partnership in the midfield. Rio Dyer, Josh Adams and Cameron Winnett make up the back 3, and we are ready to go. England in white, Wales in red. There's the Twickenham roar as George Ford kicks down the throat of Winnett, who sets it up in centre field inside the 22. The referee is James Dolman, helped out by Ben O'Keefe and Holly Davidson, with Brendan Pickerel in the TMO box. Will we get any semblance of the drama we had at Murrayfield earlier, where it was won by Scotland run by France, in extraordinary fashion. France 20, Scotland 16. As Stewart runs it back brilliantly for England. Over the 22 goes Freddie Stewart. Mitchell to the right. What a chance this is. Denu in the opening stages, 0-0, but England attacking through Underhill. England 15 metres out, pressing hard in the opening minutes at Twickenham. We just joined our 5 Live listeners briefly. Here we are on Sports Extras. Ford links with Dingwall. Nice ball out to Daly, who's jinking off his wing. England attacking, and attacking well thanks to that great burst from Freddie Stewart. Wales over that ball looking to steal. They haven't quite managed to force the turnover, but there for England. Ford's playing at scrum half. Ollie Chesham carries. 0-0 in the opening couple of minutes.
Never on the ball.
Sports Extra at Twickenham. Underhill's going to offer himself, but they go deep to Ford. Ford goes crossfield for Slade. Slade against Dyer. Well taken. Rio Dyer. And did he call the mark as well, James Hook, which will give him a chance to clear? What are the officials going to decide there?
11.
I think it's a line out, is it?
They're not giving him the mark.
11 back. Holly, he didn't call mark, yeah? No.
Well, they're asking.
No, not clear.
Not a clear mark. It's going to be a lot. That's a big old call, because normally these days, James Hook, they give a mark by default, don't they?
I think Rio Dyer's complaining and he called the mark.
It's not a clear mark.
He's still complaining. He's not happy, but the line-out's been given 5 metres out for England.
What a chance for England, Matt Dawson. Jamie George to throw.
Licking their lips here, England, all day long. I can't imagine this is going anywhere other than up the jumper from Chesham. There you go.
Gilt-edged for England this, as they peel away, and they haven't put it up the jumper, they peeled, and maybe that's exactly what the Welsh defence wanted. It's still there for England, and Mitchell who's digging for the ball. They're going to turn this over, are they, Wales? Yes, they have penalty to Wales on the floor, and that'll be very frustrating for England, but encouraging for the Welsh, James Hook.
Yeah, and it's that man, I think it's Tommy Raphael again who's over the ball. He made the initial collision, but yeah, I'm surprised England didn't go for the drive there, Matt.
Well, going for the drive, but also, the cynical Dawson will be here. Referee was looking for that all day long because he was unsure about the mark.
Right.
He's just a bit, have I made the right call? This is a massive decision. And the ruck had been formed, and Raphael's come in the second bite at that ruck. A lot of referees would have given that the other way for a second bite, but he's let Raphael win that ball.
Ball may have spilled out, which could have helped Raphael's cause.
No, slip off.
Yeah, it's
Incoming red.
It's Raphael at his best, isn't it?
That's good.
Highlighted by James Hook earlier as a key man for Wales. Wales win the line now. They're inside their own half. Are they going to play some rugby? They're trying to just work a little move and have set it up just outside the 22. This is where Wales will be dead keen to take England on, but need to be careful. England offside, Maritoje. So that's a nice open goal clearance chance for Wales. Thomas Williams with the kick, which Chester meets up, but penalty to Wales. And now, Hookie, they can go much deeper into England territory.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to see Wales play a lot today, but from that area of the field, 20 metres out to their own line, I think it's sensible.
Offside.
And England, 2 penalties in quick succession just allows Wales off the hook there.
Warren Gatlin all over them, all over the officials on Wednesday, Thursday when he was he had his slot with them. You can guarantee offside line was top of the agenda after the way that England had defended against Italy last weekend. So officials all over it, quite rightly so, just ahead of the line. England got to be careful.
We'll bring Paul Grayson, who is touchline for us shortly. We'll bring him in a moment, but let's see what Wales can do. Halfway line, sponsors logo. Lloyd deep, nice little ball, sends Wales over the halfway line. Thomas Williams comes to the right. There's Lloyd again. Dyer's off his wing, still just about around the halfway line or so for Wales. Rio Dyer on the cross. Thomas Williams after Dyer's carry. Again, they set it up well through Tommy Raphael. Thomas Williams, Tompkins a first receiver. Big tackle coming in on David Jenkins as Wales just going through the phases, but a bit static. So Lloyd sensibly decides to clear. Hooks it towards touch. It's going to go out on the full. No. Tommy Freeman took it just inside. Ford, nice hands to Alex Mitchell. Mitchell chips for himself. All on the bounce now. Tidied up nicely by Wales, but they are inside their own 22 as Lloyd saved the day. Thomas Williams now out to his forwards and Elliot D. 15 metres or so from their own line. Wales and Thomas Williams. Will he look for touch or will he look just to keep it in? That's a deliberate tactic, you feel. They don't want to give England too many line-up balls, especially in Wales. It's half as Stewart finds Daly, who's gone siding through. Daly kicks. It's going to work out for Slade. It might do. No, just runs out of play. But England probing, England attacking. Paul Grayson on the touchline. Your view of the first 5.
Yeah, contrasting tactics. England started the game with a kick-off straight down the middle, which they don't normally do. They want to keep Wales away from the box kick, but they've clearly targeted Wales in counter-attack. They were awful kick chase first half last week. Very rarely do you see Freddie Stewart pass the ball in counter-attack. There he's carried it to the line. Daly's hit a decent line-up and made another line break. Good intensity from England. Wales
have won their line-out. That was an Achilles heel in that disastrous first half against Scotland, but David Jenkins rose high. Can Wales though get their exits right? That's Alex Mann.
Use it now.
Debut last week off the bench, scored a try, rewarded with a start at Twickenham. As Thomas Williams looks to clear, this time he does look for touch. Matt Dawson, it gives England a nice platform, 25
Yeah,
out.
he needed to make touch there, just to settle himself down. That was a proper shank of Thomas Williams' last kick right into the midfield, which gave Freddie Stewart acres of space and time to think about what he was doing. So just to be able to settle down and get a decent box kick away. Still pressure from England though.
England line out just outside the Welsh 22. That Saracens combination well honed. George and Atoje. Daly's off his wing as Earl played the link man. Mitchell, this is slick from England. Roots comes storming around the corner. Man of the match in Rome. Mitchell dummies. Almost got past Beard. Sends out the pass to Slade. Slade to Daly. He'll pick that up off his toes beautifully like a cricketer in the slips. 22. England. 7 minutes gone. Jamie George drives on for England. 7 minutes gone. England nil, Wales nil. England are probing, England are pressing. Wales are just about hanging on as another good kick sends Wales 5 metres from their own line. 0-0 after 7.
Yeah, that's an intelligent kick from George Ford there. I think they weren't really going anywhere in the 22 there, England. Good defensive line this time from Wales. Just puts that ball right in the 5-metre channel to put pressure on Wales' line out.
Your front man is matching up well.
Wales just trying to take a quick throw there 5 metres out. They do not want to take any risk. They know England are going to go up in at least a couple of pods. Great line out.
Jenkins at the front, just wait for the banker, the skipper at the front of the line out. But Matt Dawson and James Hook and Paul Grayson on the touchline. We are craning our necks a lot to the right, and England have forced the scrum there. Wales' maul has gone to the ground unsuccessfully, and we've already said it, once, twice, 3 times in the first 8 minutes. What an opportunity this is for England.
Red, white ball.
Yeah, it simply doesn't get better than what England are about to go down to. A scrum 5 metres out, far left-hand touchline. Pick your option. Keep the ball in, little secondary nudge. It could be a midfield creative little crash up with quick ball. It could be a crossfield kick. It could be, pick your move hooking.
Yeah, and again, that's all come from George Ford. Just game management, not going anywhere. They know they were obviously supporting. Let's put pressure on Wales' line out. 5 metres out from their own line. Wales did not want to line out from there, and this is the consequence.
Coming up to 5 o'clock, the 3 o'clock football's coming to an end. So 5 Live will be joining us soon for uninterrupted commentary of this first half. Stay with us on Sports Extra, then we'll be switching across to 5 Live when Nottingham Forest Newcastle's on Sports Extra at 5:30. So you will not miss a thing, either on Sports Extra or on 5 Live when they join us in the next few minutes. But what an opportunity for England, 9 minutes in to this Six Nations clash. England 0, Wales 0, and Paul Grayson on the touchline as the scrum resets. What do you see England setting up for here?
Stability.
It's interesting that they want to get scrum dominant. Clearly, they've been sending out messages about how clean their scrummaging is starting to become. Dawson just touched on it. It's a perfect launch pad. They'll go for a double shove, and then I reckon Ben Earl, like a bullet from a gun, out of the number 8 slot, charging into Lloyd at 10. If they get quick ball from there, pick and go, try and get to the post and get a score.
Well, earlier at Murrayfield, Scotland had so much that game, but didn't always take their chances, losing by 20 points to 16 against France. And even though England have had it all their own way in the first stage, you've still got to take your opportunities. Wales can rally any time.
Yeah, Chris, you're right. You cannot come away from this scenario without points. 3 points, 5, 7. There has to be an opportunity.
Mitchell feeds, Earl pops it to Mitchell, Henry Slade knocks on. And Wales, will they look to run it? Johan Lloyd out to Dyer. There's no one in the backfield. He probably should have kicked, but he's running it, Dyer. Still Rio Dyer. Couldn't quite get it away to win it. But Matt Dawson implored England to come away with points. They haven't. Simple, 8-9-13. Slade knocked on. It's greasy down there, but it certainly isn't too wet. And England will rue that.
Use it, 9.
It's still 0-0 as Wales set Asarati smashed by Chesham, who really is one of those guys who shoots out the defensive line. And Wales, James Hook, just need to get a bit of a platform in this game, but they will be buoyed by the fact that it's still 0-0. Lloyd is going cross field for Adams. That's a beautiful kick. He then loses it. Daly's on it. He's barreled out of play. I think there may have been a knock-on from Wales. Yeah, there has been a knock-on by Wales. So Wales couldn't get onto that loose ball. Still with England, but on the halfway line now. Underhill, Ford, Chesham. Good tackling in centre field. Wales all over that ball, but they're for England and Mitchell. To the left, 0-0. Marler first receive. Nice ball to Ford. Out the back to Dingwall, who's lurking. On to Slade. It's half charged down. It will be an England line-out, won't it? In between the 22 and the 10.
Well, there you go. Quick line-outs, cross-field kicks in your own 22. It's got Gats and Alex King written all over this game, because that is the only way, and it's high risk. Let's make no bones about it. There are going to be opportunities for England to scoop that up. The message from an England perspective is, okay, we know what, and within 11 minutes, the messages on the field now should be, this is what they're going to do. Eyes up, quick tap penalties, quick line out throws, crossfield kicks. Be ready for anything.
Yeah, you're right, Dawson. And it is high risk, but from that area of the field in Wales at 22, there's a lot of space there. Freddie Stewart's got to cover that backfield.
Okay, well, I just didn't see it that way. I saw one thing from him. I just said to you, Lucy, if he paints a really good picture of his elbow for a stand, then I can reward.
Thank you very much, Ian. Welcome to Twickenham.
No, it's right now.
It's 0-0. England 0, Wales 0. But for our 5 Live listeners just joining us, that doesn't tell the full story. Matt Dawson, a bit of a stoppage as Kieran Asarati gets treatment. England have had all the play, haven't they? They've been camped in this Wales half.
Yeah, we are looking right for sure. Nothing going on in the left half of the field. Wales under immense pressure, but still wanting to play. Make no bones about it. They are going to have a right good old go at England this afternoon. England going to have to finish them off, but it's good pressure, and that pressure will build and be, eventually Wales will crack. Just got to be patient.
Well, there's a moment here that could be significant. Just as our 5 Live listeners joined us, I said Kieran Asarati, the tight head, was getting treatment.
James, we're looking at the tackle by White 5, making shoulder to head contact on red 3.
Ollie Chesham
White 5
on Asarati.
on red 3.
Yes, that's correct. I'm just going to put it on the screen for you now.
And it's never good when the TMO says shoulder to head straight away. Not even a question, not possible shoulder to head.
We'll pick this up in a moment. Let's go to Spurs. There's been a goal there for Katie Smith.
A late winner for the home side. Spurs 2, Brighton 1. Son with the work down the left-hand side. An assist for him on his return. Sends it in to Johnson, who fires it home. Spurs moving back into the top 4. Spurs 2, Brighton 1.
So, we're still waiting for the verdict from the TMO. We haven't seen a replay yet, have we, guys?
Strange that. Usually we would get a replay pretty quick. I don't know whether...
Just bear with us, James. They're just having some trouble getting the angles.
a technical issue, and I think they want to show the right angles early on, but very difficult to know. Very difficult. I didn't see anything at the time. I didn't necessarily see a hit, which I thought, that was a bit risky. But when you're flying out of the line like England do, very high press, hard press.
They're just having difficulty getting the angles, but you can play a penalty, go back over to the 22 to your left.
Okay, so
here comes the angle. Here it is.
Here we go. Finally got it. Okay, first instinct is it's not going to be, I don't think, in red card territory. There's a dip from both men. Let's have a look at this again. But Sam Underhill's gone in first. Nasaraji's kind of spun out of Underhill, and then Chesham's on the ball a bit, isn't he?
Well, the first contact is it's on Asarati's head with Ollie Chesham's right shoulder, and then it bounces from the head onto the ball. Now, is there mitigation because Sam Underhill is making the tackle? We're going to see this a few times here. The referee's going to be panicking a little bit about making a decision, so maybe he can palm it off.
Yeah, I think Asarati, he's dropping as well, isn't he? He's dropping in his height. I think Chesham's going for the ball. He catches him on the head. Sounds like it's going to be a yellow card.
I understand there's a late, but that can come into the
well,
later.
Let's have a listen in.
Right now is that we have foul play because the player is upright. Okay.
Who's upright?
So the player is upright. 5. He can be lower into that tackle. It's head contact and it reaches yellow card threshold.
Ollie Chesham's gone to the sin bin. Famous last words. I would be surprised if this gets upgraded. And has gone to the bunker.
The mark, please.
As we saw in Marseille with Paul Willemse.
In line with where you are.
He got a yellow card upgraded. It's already got 2 yellows, didn't he? Right. Ollie Chesham in the bin. 0-0, 12 minutes gone. It's all happening, but we've got full time at Fulham for John Southall.
Fulham 3, Bournemouth 1. Really good second half. Senesi pulled one back to make it 2-1. Fulham's third, though, outstanding Willian today, played it into Muniz, who volleyed in. Bournemouth gave it everything to get back into it. Wasn't their day. Fulham's first league win of the year. Fulham 3, Bournemouth 1.
And full time at Luton for Chris Coles.
Big win for Sheffield United, 3-1 winners, their first victory away from home in the Premier League this season. Archer, a McAtee penalty, and Vinny Souza with the goals to take them 7 points adrift of safety. They've beaten Luton 3-1.
Wales line and halfway. We heard that late goal at Spurs from Katie. It's now full time, Katie.
And it's Spurs 2, Brighton 1. It ends. They came from behind. The 96th minute cross from Son from the left. Such a nice finish from Johnson. Side of his foot, high into the back of the net. Momentum kept shifting, but Spurs are up to 4th. Brighton stay 8th. It ends here. Spurs 2, Brighton 1.
Thank you very much, Katie. Wolves 0, Brentford 2. We heard from Pat Murphy, and in our earlier game, Man City 2 second half goals to beat Everton 2-0, and in our commentary game with Ian Dennis and Chris Sutton, it finished Liverpool 3, Burnley 1, and finally full time at Watford-Leicester with Aaron Paul.
Watford 1, Leicester 2, job done for the Foxes. Patson Daka and Ricardo Pereira grabbed the goals. Emmanuel Dennis pulled one back for Watford, but Leicester hang on to go 11 clear at the top of the Championship. Watford 1, Leicester 2.
Cheers, Aaron. Julia Bold, you got full time at Leeds.
Yes, it's finished Leeds 3, Rotherham 0. What looked to be a handball by Patrick Bamford opening the scoring. Then after the break, it was all about Tox-Torre, Chrysenko, Somerville, a goal and a penalty. It's Leeds 3, Rotherham 0.
Remember, Nottingham Forest against Newcastle at 5:30 is live, in full and uninterrupted on Sports Extra at 5:30. England line out off the Lloyd's crossfield kick, dribbled out of play. England have knocked it forward. Okay, so if you are just joining us,
I'll play review when you're ready.
We're almost on 14
It'll remain
minutes.
a yellow card. The degree of danger is not high.
Ollie Chesham is in the sin bin, but the lack of danger, or the low degree of danger. So Ollie Chesham is going to stay as a yellow card. Part of me wonders if that was a harsh yellow in the first place. It's just going to be a yellow either way. Ollie Chesham does have a while left in the sin bin, almost 8 minutes. England have knocked on, and now James Hook. Amongst all of that, it's England 0, Wales 0, and Wales have a set-piece opportunity in the England half for a change.
Yeah, in the opening 14 minutes, I think it's Wales' first opportunity to attack in England's half. As you just said, Chris, a crossfield kick from Johan Lloyd didn't quite go to hand, but an error at the line-out from England allows Wales great set-piece opportunity from the right-hand side scrum.
Coach! Thomas Williams prepares to feed the scrum. Wales have options all open. Josh Adams has come off his wing to the open side. Johan Lloyd wearing 10, Tompkins, North, Winnett and Dyer as the scrum goes down. Paul Grayson on the touchline. What do Wales need to do from this good attacking opportunity?
Well, they've got to do the opposite of what England have done with all their good opportunities. Is keep hold of the ball and build some pressure. Every time England had a strike, they managed to knock it on or turn it over. They need a clean set piece first, yes, but then they've got to play away from it, challenge England wherever they choose to go, whether that's up the middle, down the blind side or wide, and keep painting those different pictures, trying to take some line speed out of it. But number one priority, hang on to the ball.
Grace, is it greasy down there?
There is a little bit, Dawson, it's fallen through the day, but no excuses. It's not, they're not playing with a wet ball by any stretch.
Welcome winners Paul Grayson and Matt Dawson alongside us in commentary with multiple Wales Grand Slam winner James Hook as Thomas Williams feeds. That Welsh scrum is solid and it's marching forward. Penalty coming to Wales here. The ball is shot up, but Wales are going to get the penalty. Big statement that from the Welsh scrum as Adams dances in between the 10 and the halfway line. No advantage. Penalty Wales. James Hook, that's an encouraging sign.
Really encouraging. I think that Welsh pack are going to take a lot of confidence. A couple of minutes earlier, the driving ball, they drove England back about 10 metres. Now, dominance up front in the scrum. That's going to give them a lot of confidence. It'll be interesting to see what Wales do, whether they go for the corner or take the 3 points.
I mean, I think as you were talking through that, there was mass discussion about whether they do go to the corner or whether they go for goal, and that just sort of tells you, but they've been thinking about this.
What a kick.
These types of moments, haven't they, during the week? It's like, no, we are going to take England on. We're not going to go for 3 points. We're probably not going to win this game by 3-6-9. Great call from Wales.
And not only that, as James Hook said, he has gone right to the 5, Johan Lloyd. And you can hear a bit of a noise from the travelling Wales fans as they throw into the line. Now taken Aaron Wainwright at the tail. Wales are driving. They're storming towards the English line. Advantage being played. Penalty try. Wales on the board at Twickenham. And the little pockets of Welsh fans around us jump for joy. Penalty try. Statement from the Wales pack. And they lead by 7, and England might be getting another man in the bin.
In 6. Drake VB6.
Yeah.
6. Collapses them all.
England down to 13.
I think, yeah, when you give a penalty try, you have to give a yellow card. He's done that. I think we saw last week Wales' dominance in the driving ball in the second half against Scotland. You expected England to come out today and defend that. The last 2 driving balls from Wales have been exceptional.
I'm not sure 6 has gone off yet, James.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not convinced about that. The ball was thrown over the 15-metre line. That means that you are allowed to go round. There is no maul, no offside line rather. You are allowed to go round and lock the ball in, which is exactly what England did. He's called maul. It's gone to deck. Anywhere else in the field, I reckon that's an England scrum. Personally.
Well, extraordinary stuff at Twickenham, because England just dominated Wales for 12 minutes, maybe more. Didn't get anything for that dominance, The Wales penalty try means it's England 0, Wales 7, no conversion with a penalty try, a straight 7, and England now have 2 men in the sin bin. Ollie Chesham's got about 6 minutes to go. And Ethan Roots has 10 as we go to Southampton full time for Sheridan Robbins.
Southampton 5, Huddersfield 3. Huddersfield had a 2-0 lead going into half-time. Joe Rothwell's double drew them level to 2-2. Alex Matta's deflected effort gave Huddersfield the lead again before Tom Lee's own goal drew the Saints level once more. Then Sukumara and Emma Odozie late on secured the 3 points, extending Southampton's unbeaten run to 25 games. Southampton 5, Huddersfield 3.
Thank you, Sheridan. Right, Wales are running it out from their own 22. And they are looking to play from everywhere, but Itoje has levelled Johan Lloyd, and England looking to counter-ruck. And England are going to get the scrum here. Yes, they do, and that's where the Welsh ambition comes back to bite them. It's going to be an England scrum. England are down to 13. They trail by 7, but they have a scrum 5 metres out, absolutely slap bang in the middle of the park.
Yeah, I think Wales were right to have a go the first time. It was a great tackle initially from, I think it was Henry Slade, and then when they were hit on the back foot, I just feel Dawson, they had to kick after that. They were on the back foot, they tried to run it again. What a tackle by Itoje on Johan Lloyd into the post.
England scrum centre field. We'd normally be a sports report on this Saturday afternoon, but we're at Twickenham for the Six Nations, so a few headlines. Man City 2, Everton 0 in the early kick-off. Liverpool, Burnley, Liverpool 3-1 winners. Tottenham 2, Brighton 1. Luton 1, Sheffield United 3. Wolves 0, Brentford 2. Fulham 3, Bournemouth 1, all full times. Full time in the Six Nations earlier. Scotland 16, France 20. Scotland denied a game-winning try by a tight TMO call right at the end. In the Championship, leaders Leicester 1-2-1 at Watford. Southampton, as we heard from Sheridan Robbins, came from 2-0 and 3-1 down to beat Huddersfield 5-3. Leeds third after beating Rotherham 3-0. Ipswich held to a 2-2 draw by West Brom. New Blackburn manager John Eustace watched on as they beat Stoke. League One leaders Portsmouth won at Carlisle. Stockport remained clear at the top of League Two after they beat Grimsby. Wins in the Scottish Cup for Aberdeen, Hibs and Kilmarnock. And England have a scrum in centre field. Earl peels away, they're down to 13, remember England, but Ben Earl has scored! What a bust from the England number 8, and that's got Twickenham moving, and England on the board.
I mean, that shades of Lawrence Delalio many years ago with his brilliant pickup and carrying Welsh players over the line. There you go, Ben Earl, picked up against the grains, took a step back, stepped off his left foot, saw a bit of space, an acceleration for the man. Incredible, lovely footwork. I just don't think Wales believed that he could do it.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4 players maybe.
Incredible carry. You called it on the scrum before, Dawson. It didn't come, but on that occasion, centre field scrum right in front of the post there. He takes some stopping, doesn't he?
Paul Grayson on the touchline. Your view of that Ben Earl solo effort?
Yeah, that's what I suggested they do from the first scrum, where England went a 2-pass play and dropped the ball. He is irresistible off the back of there. Amazing skills. Tommy Freeman had gone in and was doing a decent job as open side flanker, trying to shore the scrum up. They didn't do that the previous scrum where Wales battered them. What power though from Ben Earl. Dawson's exactly right. Evokes Lawrence Delalio, just slingshot from the back. Extreme pace, leg power, and then the skills to extend his arm with Dingwall latching him to reach out and dot it down. Superb.
20 minutes gone, and Rio Dyer.
He's moved to the side.
Oh right, this is shades of the World Cup. George Ford has in effect been charged down. Explain what's happened here, Matt Dawson.
Oh no, the referee is saying that George Ford has gone back into his position, like he's 3 steps back, 1 to the left, and he is saying that he made that initial twitch or movement which initiates his run up towards the ball, and as soon as the Wales players see him move there, a little move to the left, Wales are allowed to get out of the blocks because it's a conversion. I would say that's fair, James.
Yeah, I think it is fair. It looked like he started his approach. George Ford is obviously arguing it, but I think Dyer's right to go for it, and I think it's the right call.
Even as a goal kicker, James is saying that.
If it was me kicking, I disagree, obviously.
Well, I think obviously George Ford has not got himself into the right position to kick the goal, and at the very last second he's thought, actually I need to be just half a foot to the left here, so he should have just turned to the referee and said, listen, I need to slightly readjust.
It's that fine line between his sort of his approach and his movement and his normal kick setup and actually moving towards the ball. But well played Wales, because that was bang in front. I mean, George Ford would not have missed that, but he has in effect, because the kick didn't end up getting taken, and England's try goes unconverted as Tompkins hurls it out to Tommy Reffell, who's over on the far side. We said Wales might not win an arm wrestle, and they're certainly playing like a team who know they need to do something that little bit different, that little bit inventive, and throw an element of caution to the wind. They lead 7-5. Thomas Williams kicks for Tompkins, just doesn't sit up the two Saracens men, Tompkins and Daly. Now though, Wales do have a penalty for offside, an earlier offence. There's boos all around the Twickenham Stadium. And now James Hook and Matt Dawson, and we'll get the view from Paul Grayson on the touchline. Do Wales look to take their 2-point lead to 5, or do they kick for the corner as Ollie Chesham prepares to come back on?
I think after that last driving ball and the penalty try, England down to 13 men, I think we've got to go for the corner.
Well, I don't want to comment until Wales make a decision, because then we see whether James Hook's going to get it right or not. And he got it absolutely spot on.
And what's good is he's not just going for touch, he is going deep. He's kicking well.
But that's their mentality, isn't it, James? I mean, everything they're doing, they're busting. They are going to the nth degree.
100%.
Number 12 was
well, they're about 8 metres out.
Yep.
They're not going off the top of your door, silly.
And then Maul took England, took them over England's line, and then a judge to have pulled it down illegally led to the penalty try. England 5, Wales 7. Chesham is back on, is he? As England get up to 14 now, still roots after that penalty try is off, as Rio Dyer spins away with the ball, but it went forward. And wild England celebrations out there, because they've snuffed out that Wales attack for now. It was knocked on by the Welsh. It will be a scrum to England in centre field, but Paul Grayson on the touchline. England deep in their own territory, and after that first 10 minutes, England really in the game now.
Yeah, absolutely they are, and you can tell there's a sideshow to watch down here. England just remonstrating with the fourth official. Steve Borthwick's just been down out of the stand to harangue the fourth official after the decision about the charge down conversion. Richard Hill, England team manager, and back row great, he was getting stuck into them too. So England feeling the heat. And you can tell there with Maro Itoje's celebration when they forced that error there, arm outstretched, finger pointing, picking out one of the Welsh players, absolutely giving it to them. No lack of intensity on and off the field.
Yeah, we hope this would be a great England-Wales Twickenham contest. They've been a little bit too one-sided of late. England have won the last 5 in the Six Nations, but so far, a bit of a classic, Matt Dawson. 7-5 Wales, 24 minutes gone.
Yeah, it's been a decent game. I've got to say, I think it takes two teams to make a decent game, but Wales are, I think they're overperforming. I think they're doing a really good job of the homework that they've done throughout the week, and that sort of positivity and mentality and gall really to play the way that they are in every facet. It's not easy to do that away from home. Fair play.
They played exceptionally well. I'm actually quite surprised we didn't drive that last maul. I'm a big believer, if something's working, keep going there. The last 2 driving mauls for Wales, well, a penalty try, we've driven England back 10-12 metres. They decided to go off the top. I understand they want a bit of variety, but if something's working, keep going there.
Well, it's been an eventful 23.5 minutes for Ollie Chesham. Sin binned for a dangerous tackle on Kieran Asarati. He's now gone off for a head injury assessment. Alex Coles is now on, so we'll wait to see whether Chesham is fit to continue and retake his place in the England second row. 5:15, 5 Live Sport from the BBC. Every Six Nations game here on 5 Live or Sports Extra or on the BBC Sounds app. In about 15 minutes time on Sports Extra, will be at the City Ground for Forest against Newcastle. And on your BBC Sounds app, you can just switch between 5 Live and Sports Extra, whether you want the rugby or the football. England clear. Cameron Winnett dances over the halfway line, links with Rio Dyer. Dyer will kick. That looks neat from Dyer. That's going to dribble out. And James Hook, Wales are playing some sensible stuff, some hair and scaring stuff, but some sensible stuff in there as well.
Yeah, really nice play. I think Cameron Winnett, it's only his second cap. He looks really comfortable at 15. Makes the right decisions. most of the time, and it's just bounced back down the short side for Rio Dyer. The space was there behind. Lovely little intelligent kick from Dyer. Pressure back on England.
I mean, there's no one in the backfield there, though, Hookie.
Yeah.
You had a scrum half kicking it long, getting in the front line with all the backs. No one in the backfield for the chip over.
I think Stewart's got to anticipate that, hasn't he?
It is a fascinating tussle. It's not just the kind of arm wrestle we sometimes get in a tight England-Wales game. It's a bit more than that. Wales are trying to be inventive. England are looking to attack a bit as well, but England are making mistakes this time. Underhill coughs it up, and you can talk all you like, can't you, Matt Dawson, about new eras, evolution, new style. If you drop balls a lot, you're not going to get far.
Yeah, I was just watching Maro Toji there as they set for their scrum, and he's sort of winding his hand around as if to say, come on boys, let's lift it. Sometimes it needs a moment to say, oi, everyone, let's just get back to our basics here. Focus, next job, no mistakes. Never mind the positivity. You feel England need just a couple of players to step up and have a slap around the chops to say, we are in the battle we thought we were going to be in. Focus in.
Well, Steve Borthwick is now back in his coaching box, just a tier below us. You can see the top of his head, but he did go down pitch side looking very agitated as Paul Grayson was outlining. Wales go too early, James Hook. So that was a good opportunity. Scrum inside the 22, quite near the touchline where we are in the West Stand, but they've gone early, giving England the free kick.
Yeah, that's a let-off for England there, but I think Dawson's right. I think the basics are not going well for England at the moment. The line-out isn't quite functioning. There's some forward passes in there, knock-ons. Their indiscipline is letting them down. It's not allowing them to get any sort of foothold into the game at the moment.
Well, Henry Slade's going to do the line kicking. Better angle for the left footer than the right footer of Ford. And that's a beauty, isn't it, from Henry Slade? It's going to give Wales the line out, but a polite round of applause from the Twickenham crowd, appreciating a good touch finder from Henry Slade. Wales with the line out then. Elliot Dee, who helped transform that Welsh line out in the second half against Scotland. He goes to the front, finds Jenkins. Jenkins pops it up to Thomas Williams, who wings it into centre field. Johan Lloyd, Nick Tompkins is being asked to carry and does pretty well doing that. Williams will go back to Lloyd, who will go to the air, and he sends a Gary Owen up into the darkening Twickenham sky, asking Josh Adams to get up, but Freddie Stewart takes it brilliantly. He's so good in the air, isn't he, Stewart? And it means that England have possession on the halfway line, 5 minutes in from the far touchline. England 5, Wales 7, 27 minutes of race by here on 5 Live and Sports Extra. The ball is out, meaning Wales will be able to get their hands on this. Referee James Dolman was clear in his instructions that England weren't kind of tidying up that ball well enough, and now Alex Mitchell's being told to use it. He's asking Sam Underhill and Coles, his Northampton teammate, to give him some protection, but pretty slow at the back of that ruck for England. Mitchell pops it into the box. Tester, this for Winnett coming forward, he takes it well. He's then tackled by Coles just outside the 22. Wales, would you believe, lead by 2. We spent a lot of this half looking to our right in the Welsh half, but that penalty try and the fact that George Ford's conversion was charged down means that Wales lead by a couple at Twickenham. Forward comes Stewart, this time he loses it, and there'll be a bit of chaos now for Wales to exploit. Beard's wide ball, it's a beauty actually to North. North ships it on to Winnett, the youngster at fullback. He looks for a kick, he puts his boot through it, and that's turning Tommy Freeman, Matt Dawson, who'll have to use his footballing skills, or will he? Back to Ford. Ford gets it away, but it's a decent territorial game for the Welsh.
Again, very obvious tactics from turnover. 2 passes, get the ball away. England are compressed in the way they attack and defend. We can see that from last week. There are going to be a couple of opportunities. It was a bit of a flingy wide ball, and there wasn't an interception on, but you know what I mean. It's still risky, but it's how they're going to play, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah.
Number 5.
England, Wales with the line out. England tackling through Underhill. Therefore, Elliot Dee. But Wales are growing into this game. Wainwright's almost through. What a storm he had in the second half in Cardiff, and now Rafel's down the left touchline, and he's deep into the 22, and Wales are playing with a bit of precious confidence. Tompkins now out to Alex Mann, the new boy at number 6. Only 15 metres out or so here, the Welsh. Can they make something happen? Wales is the cry from the loud but small pockets of Welsh support who have flooded down the M4 to Twickenham. Centre field for Thomas Williams. They're going through the phases here, James Hook. They need something more to break down England here.
Yeah, England are forcing Wales back a little bit. They just need to keep the ball. Hope for England to cough up a penalty.
Can Wales keep their discipline, their composure and their accuracy? Tompkins waits to pass, but then a little burst, tackled by a toe. JD's going to carry again, the hooker, almost up to 22. England are meeting this on the gain line as Thomas Williams drives, and as James Hook's saying, maybe Wales' best bet here is to try and milk a penalty as Earl comes over the top, but it's a legal counter, and England might be able to get their hands on this. No, still there for the Welsh, but they're outside their 22 now. England have driven them back 10 metres or so with some good defensive work. Jenkins, the captain, picks and goes round the corner. Half an hour up at Twickenham, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. England 5, Wales 7, as Wainwright is hit hard in the tackle. Good English defensive set, but Wales have recycled it very well as well, Matt Dawson.
Wales are punching themselves drunk here. Picking going around the corner. They're chucking so many men into the rucks. It's very difficult to do anything other than pick and go for Wales. They're being patient, they're being accurate. You feel that maybe Lloyd just sitting behind and take the 300 drop goal and restart.
That might be the option because they've gone through 18 phases, would you believe? Still there for Wales on the 22. Man from Williams. Winnett as Freeman came into the line. That's a nice little dance from Cameron Winnett. Just short of the 22, but it's all around the 22 as D thunders into Marler. 7-5 to Wales, who have had 20-odd phases now in this move. Lloyd out the back from Jenkins. He's tackled hard. And maybe they've got to put boot to ball because this English defence is looking hard to break down. That's better as Winnett took it from Tompkins. But again, England fell them on the game line. Thomas Williams fizzes to the right, finds Adam Beard. He trucks it up to the 22, still desperately trying to get into that 22 are Wales. Can Wainwright spark something? He did last weekend. Therefore, Thomas Williams. Deep it comes to Tompkins, who always makes something happen. He gets the offload. Was it knocked on? No, it was backwards from White, and England survive. And they soaked up, must have been near 25 phases. Back to Daly, and he gleefully smashes it downfield. And England survived that Welsh onslaught. And that kick has gone miles from Daly. It's gone to within a metre or two of the Welsh line. Adams clears to touch, and that is a seismic territorial gain for England, despite it being a good touch finder from Josh Adams.
I mean, all right, it was a massive kick, but that was on to go for England. Brilliant turnover. Wales off their feet, dead and buried. They'd run themselves to a total standstill. I think Elliot Daly all of a sudden just steps off his right foot. It's a 2-on-1. Great opportunity.
What defence from England though. You mentioned it, Chris. 25 phases and Wales didn't go forward a metre. It was all around that 22. England just waiting for their chance for that turnover, and that is so exhausting from a Welsh attack point of view. They're just going round the corner and asking their forwards to pick and go without any sort of momentum, and you can see the Welsh forwards taking a much needed drink of water at the point.
I don't see as much Welsh rugby as you do, James, but this is an ongoing problem for England. Brilliant defence. All right, whether it's Kevin Sinfield or before or Felix Jones, and then you get that precious opportunity of a turnover, and what do you do? What's the decision that's when your head is mush? What's the decision that's going to be made? And the top teams, I know it was an 80 metre kick, but I think the top teams realise that the opposition are dead and buried there, and you attack with ball in hand.
8 minutes until half-time as England again cough it up, as Ben Earl came storming onto a Daly pass, and we'll go back, won't we, for the knock-on first by England. Wales have the scrum. Over on Sports Extra now, our coverage is underway of Nottingham Forest against Newcastle, Premier League 5:30 kickoff with Ali Bruce Ball and Stephen Kelly. Lee Blakeman will keep us up to date on 5 Live. Another compelling day of action in the Premier League. It concludes at the City Ground. That is over on Sports Extra now, as Wales have the scrum in centre field and Paul Grayson on the touchline. Your view of that England move as England keep coughing the ball up, which is going to really feed that Welsh confidence?
Yeah, England trying to play absolutely flat at the line, with Fraser Dingwall taking the ball as second receiver and barely touching it for a tenth of a second as he transfers it to Ben Earl. It was the first move they used against Italy from line out last week. Earl had a heavy carry. This time Welsh fingertips just get in there. Tompkins, I think it was, who just managed to get some skin on the ball and pinch it. But that happened right in front of me, Chris, and the speed the attack was travelling at the defence and the speed the defence was travelling at the attack. It just reminds you how physical, aggressive. It's from ground level, unbelievable what they're going through, the players.
And right in front of you, Ollie Chesham going through some tackle draws. Looks like he's coming back on as Thomas Williams comes to the right. Johan Lloyd to George North. Not seen much of North, but that is a powerful carry from the 119 cap man, Wales' most experienced player by a distance, leading by example there. As Williams digs for the ball, the Toje gets an arm on it. Wales might be able to stretch England. Good hands, and no, it's been knocked on by Gareth Thomas, and England get the turnover. Will they go from turnover ball? Earl flings it out to Slade, who will kick off its right, and he sliced it, taken by Lloyd. Oh, he stepped out of play, so England will get the line out. Element of inexperience from Lloyd. James Hook, you could have let that go, or would you never let a ball bounce?
Yeah, I think he could have let it go. It was right in front of us there, Chris. But I'm just watching Gareth Thomas. He's in some discomfort on the floor. A huge hit on him from Sam Underhill. But what about, we've seen the replay of George North, his carry. It should have been a bog standard tackle. He's gone through 3 or 4 English defenders, just getting Wales on that front foot.
Yeah, injury is cleared, James. He's just been tackled hard there.
Yeah. Well, back in the good old days, they would call that the hospital pass, wouldn't they? That poor old Gareth Thomas there took one for the team, reaching to the sky to take a fairly average pass, showing the ribs. Sam Underhill, think, licking his lips, going, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. I'll break a few on the way. Woo, that's a big hit.
He's a tough boy, Gareth Thomas. He was on the Rugby Union Daily podcast with us that was out this morning from the team hotel, talking about how much this fixture means to him, how everyone in Wales wants to play in it. I'm not sure everyone in Wales wants to take a Sam Underhill hit like that, though.
A lot of people never getting up from that. I mean, wait, he's scratching his back like he's just been bitten by a mosquito.
Yeah, they are made of tough stuff, these boys. England 5, Wales 7. Stoppage for the treatment and for water and all that. 5 minutes left of this first half. Wales lead by 2. Jamie George as Atoje gets up. Good contest, the referee says, with Dapper Jenkins. It means that England aren't able to maul because the ball's gone to ground. So Jenkins, despite not winning the ball, disrupted England enough to prevent them setting off on a maul. Ben Earl, the try scorer from England, he sets it up, and now Alex Mitchell is going to play a bit of territory. And he does just that. Rio Dyer, this may have gone a tiny bit too far. Dyer takes it well, and this time he makes absolutely sure he calls the mark after the confusion earlier, Matt Dawson.
Yeah, not sure I quite understand those tactics. If you're going to box kick it, can't go anywhere near the 22. Got to compete, got to make an absolute mockery of it, that in the air, jumping across people, making life so tough for Dyer, and he just sat in his 22, gobbled it up, called the mark. Too easy.
I think that's credit to Wales' defence as well. We've spoken a lot about England's line speed, and they are bringing the line speed we expected them to bring, but I think Wales' defence is really good. They're off the line. George North, Tompkins, making England make errors.
Oh, Wales get up and nick England's line out. They went for the tried and tested George to Atoje, but Wales, it's amazing, isn't it, James? You can almost just visibly see it when a Welsh team grows in confidence. We saw it in Cardiff last week, and through the course of this half, they will go in at half-time, barring a very late England rally, really feeling they can win this game, which would confound all the expectations ahead of kick-off. Yeah, loads of rugby still to play.
And you contrast that, every single error England are making, the energy's just draining out of them.
And Wales have disrupted England on the floor, and they've got the ball back after the kick, and they have it in English territory. And Tompkins finds Dyer, who gives it on to his forwards, who set it up. There for Thomas Williams. Here's Dapper Jenkins, who work all day, the 21-year-old captain from Lock. Halfway line. This is where Wales just need to be clever, don't they, James? They don't just want to go through the faces and feeding, and they want to come up with something, whether it's a kick or a move or something, just to ask questions of England. And now Lloyd has done just that. He's kicked downfield, but Stewart read it well, and he'll reply with interest. towards Lloyd, who scampered neatly into the backfield, and now he puts up a kick for himself, Dan Biggar style. Can he get up like Biggar and take it? Oh, it's been kicked on the full by Mitchell, and that's going to sit up into the hands of Adams, who could dribble it down the touchline, but no, he set it up because George Fawn was covering. That's great stuff from Josh Adams to go over the 10-metre line. Wales have really worked their way back into this game admirably, and they might be able to stretch England here as Winnett finds Tompkins, and Tompkins goes short to Raffle, who's gone bounding over the halfway line. Bennell looking to steal, but there for Thomas Williams, out to Tompkins. So busy, isn't he, Nick Tompkins? Making that Wales shirt his own. 34 caps now for the 28-year-old from Saracens. Lovely ball to Thomas Williams, out to Alex Mann, and Alex Mann's going under the post. Extraordinary stuff at Twickenham. Wales have scored again. Magnificently worked with Thomas Williams through, and Alex Mann's got 2 in 2 test matches. And England are really feeling the heat now.
Yeah, and it's that inside ball from Wales. They've tried it a couple of times through Rio Dyer. It wasn't defended that time. Tommy Raffel on the inside, Alex Mann supporting. Really, really clinical stuff from Wales.
Unfortunately, it came from that poor clearance kick from Alex Mitchell. It just ended up in Josh Adams, who made a lovely break, and all of a sudden England in disarray. People defending in areas that they're just simply not used to. Wales saw it, they picked England off. Brilliant in and out from Raffel into Thomas Williams. 2-on-1 all day long. How about that, Mr. Man from 22 metres out, strolling in, felt good.
Well, Johan Lloyd won't miss this from bang in front. He's about to put Wales 9 clear, and he does, and Paul Grayson on the touchline. Tommy Raffel twice involved there. Thomas Williams through, man under the post.
And playing what you see as well, Raffel into the outside channels, Wales counter-attack, 3 or 4 passes across the field, and then he straightened the line, made the break, got him on the front foot. And as we touched on pre-game, how do you break down the blitz defence? You give your fly half options inside and out, and if they break the chain back on the inside, you're in behind, it can be a clean kill. It's only one more pass, good support from the 9, second row outside him, and they're in again, textbook.
Well, these Welsh players will sense they're on the verge of something special here. Long way to go, we're barely at half time, but only 2 Wales teams have won in the Six Nations ever, 2008 and 2012. And the crop of 2024 are going to go in at half-time with a bit of composure at 14-5 up. And we were chatting on the Rugby Union Daily this week. It's the first half try Wales have scored at Twickenham since 2006, and they've got 2 of them. And now, James Hook, Wales just got to make sure they don't start looking at the scoreboard and panicking, because it's been charged down, Chesham on Williams, but it's back in Welsh possession, and now with one more phase they will be able to take half time here, Hookie.
Yeah, I just need to kill the clock now. 7 seconds, as you say, Chris. One more phase will do it, and expect Thomas Williams to boot this ball straight into the stand.
Time is up for the first half. You may have heard the Wales forward said kick it off, and they oblige. What a half of rugby. And you can tell from the noise or lack of it around Twickenham, a subdued atmosphere. England had loads of the game in the first 20, but they've not been able to convert. Wales have done precisely that. England 5, Wales 14 at half-time. Quick word from Matt Dawson, and then we'll bring in Mark Chapman.
Yeah, I mean, all the game, all the first 20 minutes of the game, England, so much ball, so much possession, could not convert their opportunities, and they're paying the price. They look shot to pieces. England look tired. It's Wales, James, who seem to have that energy, that upper hand.
Mark Chapman, England 5, Wales 14 at half-time.
Second half on the way here on 5 Live from Twickenham. Plenty to cram in during half-time. Let's go to the City Ground first of all. Forest against Newcastle underway. You can listen to this on Sports Extra. The second half will follow at the conclusion of the game at Twickenham. Lee Blakeman.
4 minutes played. Forest 0, Newcastle 0. Newcastle enjoying the majority of possession. Forest making one change from their last league game, the 1-1 draw at Bournemouth last week. Niakate coming in for Omabomadele. One change for Newcastle from the 4-4 draw with Luton as Wilson replaces Murphy up top. Lively start, no goals. Forest 0, Newcastle 0.
It's Scottish Cup 5th round weekend. Earlier, Aberdeen 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Inverness 1, Hibs 3, Kilmarnock 2, Cove Rangers 0. They are still playing between Partick Thistle and Livingston. And the final whistle has just gone, actually. And Livingston have come from behind to beat Partick Thistle 3-2. They're underway at Ibrox. Rangers against Ayr. Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, 4 minutes gone. Second in the Premiership against sixth in the Championship. It's Rangers 0, Ayr United 0. You have to go back to 1975 for the last time Ayr United beat Rangers. That was under manager Ali McLeod. Now Scott Brown is the honest men's manager, the man Rangers loved to hate when he was Celtic captain. Oscar Cortez has already hit the post for Rangers. A lovely curling shot from just outside the box. The Colombian winger signed on loan from Lens in France. 4 minutes gone, 0-0.
If you've been listening to us all afternoon, you'll know that the top two meet in the Bundesliga this evening. It was meant to kick off at 5:30 between Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, but there are lots of protests going on from German fans at the moment across the Bundesliga about investment that is coming in to the German FA, and those protests have delayed the start of the game between Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. They basically throw sweets onto the pitch, and that at the moment has happened in that game, so we're still waiting for that to kick off. In the Premier League today at lunchtime, 2 goals from Erling Haaland saw Manchester City beat Everton 2-0. That took them to the top of the table. Liverpool have gone back above them at 3 o'clock with a 3-1 win over Burnley. Elsewhere, Fulham beat Bournemouth 3-1. Sheffield United got their first away win of the Premier League season with a 3-1 win at Luton. Tottenham came from behind to beat Brighton 2-1, and it finished Wolves 0, Brentford 2. So the Premier League table this evening: Liverpool 54 and Manchester City 52. Arsenal 49, Tottenham 47, Villa 46. Then Manchester United with 38, West Ham with 36, Brighton have 35, Newcastle 33, Wolves 32, into the bottom half, Chelsea 31, Fulham 29, Bournemouth 27, Brentford 25, Palace 24, Forest 21, Luton 20, and the bottom three remain Everton with 19, Burnley with 13, but Sheffield United have 13 as well. I'll round up everything that's happened in the EFL today shortly. In the Asia Cup final, the defending champions and hosts Qatar have won that in the Lusail Stadium. They won the final 3-1. All 3 goals from Qatar coming from penalties they were awarded. Jordan 1, Qatar 3 in the Asian Cup final. Give you all the other details from the day's football after Fraser Dainton and the news.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Good afternoon. A police boat has been seen circling in the River Thames in London as part of efforts to find the body of a man suspected of attacking his ex-partner and her 2 children with a corrosive substance. Scotland Yard believes Abdul Shakur Azadi went into the water in the hours after the attack last month. A woman has been charged with attempted murder following the suspected poisoning of 2 children in East Sussex. Emergency services were called to a property in Uckfield on Thursday. 38-year-old Jamil Yulimal George has been remanded in custody. President Zelensky has condemned Russia for a drone attack on Kharkiv. 7 people, including 3 children, were killed. The attack hit an oil depot. And the banned party of Pakistan's jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan says it has the authority from voters to form a government after the general election. Independent candidates backing him have won the most seats. Another former leader, Nawaz Sharif, is also trying to form a coalition.
This is 5 Live Sport with Mark Chapman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
I told you what's happened in the Premier League this afternoon. We'll bring you some reaction as well from the day's games. But in the Championship, Leicester keep an 11-point lead at the top of the table after they won 2-1 at Watford. Southampton stay in second and they have 64. Remarkable game that they were involved in. They were 2-0 down and 3-2 down at home to Huddersfield, but eventually they won 5-3. Leeds have 63 points. They saw off bottom of the table Rotherham 3-0. Ipswich and West Brom drew 2-2 at lunchtime. Ipswich have 60 and West Brom have 49. And Sunderland Sunderland have moved into the playoff spots after they beat Plymouth 3-1 at home and Hull were beaten 1-0 at home by Swansea. Rotherham, after that defeat at Leeds, remain bottom of the table with 19. Sheffield Wednesday won last night and they have 26. QPR got a 2-2 draw at home to Norwich and they are on 29, 2 points behind Huddersfield, who suffered that dramatic loss at Southampton. Let's go back to the Premier League. Finished Liverpool 3, Burnley 1. Here are the thoughts of Jurgen Klopp.
Good, really good. Responded really well. Bit of a rushy start. Where we tried too hard, if you want. That's why we were too open for the counter-attacks. If you play too early up front, and you cannot push up that quick. You lose the ball. They have chance for counter-attack. That's what they wanted to do. That's what they had. And so that was a tricky one. That was first half. That was the start. But we started controlling it better. We found moments where we really kept the ball. Always when we did that, then we were really good. So that's what we showed the boys in half-time. That's what we did most of the time. But then, of course, we scored a 2-1 and then they had their moments. Then where we needed Queef. That's just how it is. We had a super difficult, but the game was super difficult without the opponent already. So just with our own problems. And I thought the boys dealt really well with that.
Another positive, 3 headed goals, each from your forward line, 1 each. I mean, it continues this trend of everyone chipping in and contributing. How pleasing has that been in recent weeks?
We wouldn't be where we are if the boys don't score, so that's how it is. And no, the goals were outstanding. The first, the set-piece routine was top. Unfortunately, through a good set-piece routine, we conceded one. Second was well played, win the ball back. Harvey goes in the box, I think. Chipman and Lucho arrives there like a thunderbolt.
Really brave.
Yeah, absolutely. Other people don't put their foot where he went with the head.
First goal in the tea time game, Lee Blakeman.
Of Newcastle, Forest 0, Newcastle 1. Brilliant ball from the right from Kieran Trippier in towards the back post. Nobody picked up the runner, who was Guimaraes, who blasted it in at the back post to make it Forest 0, Newcastle 1 after 10 minutes.
Goal at Ibrox as well, Kenny.
Rangers 1, Ayr United 0. First goal of the season for Borna Barisic, the Croatian left-back. Really good work down the left-hand side by Oscar Cortez, the left winger from Colombia. Cut it back to Barisic, who was steaming into the box, left-footed, low into the bottom left-hand corner. Rangers 1, Ayr United 0.
In League 1 in England this afternoon, top 1 at bottom, Carlisle 0, Portsmouth 1. So Portsmouth have 66. Derby in second were held at home by Shrewsbury. They have 60 points. Bolton got a draw at Northampton despite being reduced to 10 men for the second half, and they're on 59. Barnsley got a late winner at home to Leyton Orient. They have 56. Peterborough also have 56 after they were thrashed 5-2 at Wycombe. Stevenage have the final playoff spot at the moment. They have 53. They were held 2-2 at Port Vale. Carlisle, as I say, lost to Portsmouth. They are bottom of the table. They have 20. Fleetwood were down to 10 and threw away a 1-goal lead at Lincoln. Lincoln winning 2-1, so Fleetwood have 25. Cheltenham have 26 after they won at Cambridge. Port Vale and Charlton both have 31. Port Vale, as I say, with that draw against Stevenage. Charlton in Nathan Jones's first game in charge, beaten 2-0 at Reading. Back to Premier League reaction. Sean Dyche saw his side lose 2-0 at Manchester City. Here are his thoughts.
I think the understanding from the side tactically and the work that we do with them and the coaches do with them was pleasing. I spoke to him half time about the turnover moments. You know, you've got to keep the ball and you've got to keep it with that kind of conviction to go and attack properly. And we didn't do that as many times. And the number of times we could have got in behind their high line and we didn't really activate on that. So that's something that we were frustrated with. Tried to get their second half, but they hurt you these side, top sides, and they are a top side. Look at the strength in their bench, shows they're a top side, and they do what they do. They can find different ways of operating. They get a goal from a set piece. I think, as I said, first shot on target, great finish, and they do what these teams do, and they put you to the sword.
Another win for the League 2 leaders, Stockport. They won 3-1 at Grimsby, so they have 61 points. Mansfield thrashed Forest Green Rovers 4-0, and they have 57. Crewe beat Crawley and have gone into third on 54. Barrow dropping to fourth on 53 after they were beaten at AFC Wimbledon. Wrexham also lost today. Phil Parkinson saw his side lose against one of his former teams, Bradford, by a goal to nil. So Wrexham are in fifth on 52. MK Dons sixth after they came from behind to beat Accrington. They have 51. Harrogate have the final playoff spot on 47 points after they beat Colchester. The bottom two remain. Forest Green Rovers on 20 after that thrashing at home to Mansfield, and Sutton have 22 after they were beaten at Morecambe. Back to the Premier League. Sheffield United's first away win of the season in the league, 3-1 at Luton. Here's Chris Wilder.
Can't look too far ahead. I can't look about what the league table's going to look like at the end of the season. But we have to be competitive in everything we do. We have to dial in during the week. We have to practice. We have to deliver, good training sessions, and we have to take them out onto the pitch on Saturday. So there was a structure about us. I thought we could count them, we could hurt. We had two or three great chances as well. And the level of performance was good from structural point of view, from a technical point of view, but it means nothing if you're not wanting to make that tackle, or you don't want to get beyond people, and Vinny Souza doesn't run from halfway in his half to halfway in their half and finishes that off to give us that all decisive 3 points and third goal. So there's actions like that are out of the handbook, and sometimes it's just what's under your shirt, and that's what this club has been built on, and we can never get away from.
In the National League today, wins for Altrincham and Boreham Wood and Dagenham and Redbridge and Halifax, AFC Fylde and York. Leaders Chesterfield were held 2-2 at home by Ebbsfleet. FA Trophy today as well, and wins for Bromley and Solihull Moors, Macclesfield, Gateshead, Peterborough Sports and Barnet. In the Women's FA Cup, Leicester thrashed Birmingham 6-2. Half an hour played between Tottenham and Charlton, and that is goalless. Back to the Premier League, Fulham 3, Bournemouth 1. Let's get the details of that from John Southall.
Yeah, not a good day for Bournemouth. It means it's now 5 league games without a win. That stretches back to Boxing Day when they actually beat Fulham. Remember, they won 4 on the trot before that one. The scoreline doesn't tell the whole tale. When you look at the stats over the piece, Bournemouth had 14 corners, 25 shots, just 4 on target and scored 1. That's the bottom line, just the 1 goal. Behind after 5 minutes, De Cordiva-Reid with the first goal. The second, Muniz finished off with the back post. In the second half, Senesi pulled one back to make it 2-1, but the decisive third just came 2 minutes later, and I think that was the turning point. Muniz again volleying in at the back post. Bournemouth gave it absolutely everything, just didn't happen for them today. A valuable victory this though for Fulham, their first league victory of 2024, but for Bournemouth, another winless game. Next 2 up for them: Newcastle away, Manchester City at home.
All of the goals signed match of the day, 10:30, BBC 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Newcastle 1, still in the tea time game. In the Women's Premiership, earlier in Rugby Union, Saracens 29, Harlequins 24, Loughborough 17, Leicester 22. The first game of the Six Nations this weekend was at Murrayfield. France came from behind to win 2016 against Scotland. Scotland did think they'd gone over and got the ball down with the last action of the match, but the referee didn't give the try, and then after a lengthy review, the TMO said they didn't have enough conclusive evidence to overturn the on-field decision. So a win for France at Murrayfield, and at Twickenham, Wales lead 14-5 as the second half is about to get underway. Let's rejoin James Hook, Paul Grayson, Matt Dawson, and first of all, Chris Jones.
Well, strap in for this second half. England 5, Wales 14. Unfancied Wales are good value for their lead. They've scored 2 tries, a penalty try as their maul pushed England over, and a brilliantly worked score. Alex Mann, England's Ben Earl effort, all they had to show for a strong start to the game, but Wales grew back into that first half, and how. And now they have the confidence to go on and emulate the heroes of 2008 and 2012, the only 2 Wales sides to have won at Twickenham in the Six Nations Championship. The second half is underway as Johan Lloyd kicks us off from left to right. And Alex Mitchell puts up a box kick into the darkened Twickenham sky. Forward comes Winnett, bit of a contest. Loose, ends up in the hands of Lloyd via Dyer. Johan Lloyd just skipping over the halfway line. First score could be crucial in this second half. And it's Wales with possessions. They work the short side. George North not got much space over on that far side, as Thomas Williams goes open to Aaron Wainwright, who knocks it on, and England will have a scrum. And James Hook, we'll start with you because Wales lead. What do you want from Wales in this second half, apart from more of the same?
Yeah, I think exactly that. It's more of the same. Keep putting pressure on England in terms of their attack. They're forcing a lot of errors out of England. Need to play in the right areas. But I think this Welsh team looks so confident at the moment. You contrast that with the England team, they look a little bit lost, us.
Yeah, even on that, that knock on from Wales. I just want, if you come out, you come out the changing room, you should be so focused on what's going to happen when you get the ball. I don't give a monkeys about all the celebrations and whooping and cheering. Right, just head into the next job. Get the focus on what's in front of you.
England scrum and they get the penalty. It's a free kick for Wales going early, and they've done that a couple of times. So England get the penalty for the repeat offence. The free kick becomes the penalty. And now Henry Slade will look to take this up to the 22 and possibly beyond. From the halfway, Henry Slade, he loves this kind of angle, done it for extra load, doesn't he? He prods it into the 22, and Paul Grayson, let's bring you in on the touchline. World Cup winning fly half, England, we keep saying at this half, good set piece opportunity, they've got to make it count.
Yeah, they do, they have to be accurate. Just at half time, Jonathan Humphreys stopped for a quick chat on his way back to his coaching thing. I said, you must be happy. He said, we're happy, but we've no idea what's going to happen. This team are so young, we're just pleased that they're putting what they've got out there on the pitch, which I thought was nice.
Atoje from George's throw at the tail. But Wales they're putting on so much pressure at the line-up, far more than I think many expected coming to Twickenham. Wales giving as good as they're getting at the set piece. Marler comes trucking round the corner. Can Twickenham roar England back into this game? They're trailed by 9 as Dingwall carries in centre field. Welsh defence is solid, but England making metres. Mitchell to the right, Bernal out the back. George Ford, will he kick? No, he passes to Slade. Slade is chopped down by a couple of Welshmen, but not before going deep into the 22. Mitchell to the left, nice hands-all. Ford out to Stewart, who drives. This is good rugby from England, who trail 14-5 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. George Ford wins it out to Dingwall. Dingwall to Elliot Daly. Daly for the corner. Daly, has he got it down, or is he tackled out of play?
Yeah, he's in touch. No TMO needed there. That was head down, tuck it under the left arm, and hope that he might have got a bounce off and potentially stretch into the corner. But solid defence there from Wales at the stretch.
Cameron Winnett, he had to make that tackle, didn't he? Lee Half-Penny-esque.
Well, what's happening here is that back on, I think Wales have got it just about, James Hook. You were mid-flow and then I think got slightly spooked by that Wales line out. But they do have it. But they are, I'm talking inches. We're talking inches here, aren't we, from their own goal line, Wales. And this is where, as Paul Grayson was saying, his conversation with the Wales forwards coach Jonathan Humphreys, experience is where you can make the difference at times like this. Wales will have the scrub, and they've got to get out of this. They're deep on their own line.
Yeah, they'll have a chance to exit now. Wales, they're under a bit of pressure here. But I think, it was a great tackle from Cameron Winnett. And I think Elliot Daly really had to. I don't know what you think, Dawson. He had to try and stay in field here. He's going close to the touchline. He's got to step back inside there.
That is an outside chance of him scoring that, and I understand if it was Jonah Lomu, then maybe he would have had a go for the corner, but or Cocker Singer of the modern game. But yeah, you're right, James. He's never going to score that try. It's a recycle, go again. But still an opportunity for England. All right, they haven't got the put into the scrum, but they've got 8 forwards on the field. It's probably been a while since there has been a scrum with England 8 forwards on the field. Not an easy place for England for Wales to get out of. Lots of pressure. Decision's got to be right by Williams.
Got great noise round Twickenham. Listen to the crowd imploring England to heave, and the scrum has splintered. Big call coming here from the referee James Dolman, Paul Grayson.
Both sides down.
Who's going to flinch at scrum time with England on the Welsh line?
Both sides down. Keep the height up, please.
Turned into penalties under pressure from the referee. It's more unstable on Wales ball than it is on England's, because they're not getting the put in. They're going early. So England have to be patient here. They can't give their referee an easy out. They can't give him a signal that means that he can give Wales a free kick or a penalty and just let them walk out their own half. It takes 3 minutes. Just be absolutely clean. Keep the pressure on in this area of the field.
Well, extraordinarily, Wales did not concede a single penalty in the first half. That free kick that became a penalty, their one penalty they've conceded all game. Their discipline was extraordinarily good in Cardiff last week, and they're continuing that at Twickenham. The scrum has splintered, but Wales do have the ball 5 metres from their own line with this 14-5 lead, and Josh Adams clears the lines from wing, and that's nicely done, but it gives Freddie Stewart, the England full-back, an opportunity to power into the Wales half. There is a penalty coming against Wales, so a couple of penalties in the second half. Forward kicks, charged down by the ubiquitous Reffel, and England will have the penalty on the 10-metre line, maybe actually closer to the 22 than we thought. Bang in front, and well, it's going to be near the 22 exactly, if not in the 22. The referee keeps moving. Kick the goal here, don't you, if you're England, just to get back on the board, Matt Dawson?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Right in front, settle it down, get it within a score.
Number 12.
14-8. Any kind of points. George Ford strolling up with the ball just stuck to his left hand. That was I'm sure it was very, very close.
On the line.
But it was nearly a brilliant exit from Wales, but one of the Welsh back line just got ahead of Josh Adams on the clearance.
Yeah,
I'm sure it wasn't done on purpose, but a bit of a shame.
It was Nick Tompkins, wasn't it, Dawson? We're watching the replay here now, but like you say, it was an excellent exit. I think everyone thought for all money it's going to go to Tompkins to carry first, and then Thomas Williams cleared his lines, but he gave it to the right hand side to Josh Adams. Excellent kick, but as you say, just unfortunately Tompkins is in front. Easy 3 points for George Ford.
Ford does bang it over, and England do have points in this second half. They cut the gap to 6. 47 minutes gone at Twickenham. England 8, Wales 14, and England have scored first in this second half, Matt Dawson.
Yeah, it just settles it down a little bit, doesn't it, from an England perspective. 6 points, all within range. Just both sides need to get through the gears a little bit, go through the phases, settle them down. It's going to get edgy.
It is going to get very, very edgy. Half an hour just over to go on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. England trail Wales by 14 points to 8. Magnificent Welsh effort.
Lost!
But will the home advantage start to tell? Or can Wales keep playing with that confidence to become just the third side in Six Nations history to win at Twickenham in the Championship? Loose ball from the kick, then England have knocked it on. They continue with the handling errors, and it will be a Wales scrum.
No issues with
as we have a goal in our 5:30 Premier League game. It's at the City Ground, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle. Lee Blakeman.
Equaliser for Forest. Gibbs White with the through ball. Ilanga got on the end of it. The keeper Dubravka came racing out of his area. Didn't get there. Ilanga poked it past him, and 26 gone. It's Forest 1, Newcastle 1.
Nice one, Lee. Remember, that's over on Sports Extra with Ali Bruce Ball and Stephen Kelly. Lee keeping us up to date on 5 Live.
Let's go, guys.
Nottingham Forest, Newcastle at the City Ground. Is anything happening on the replacement bench? Paul Grayson, from an England point of view.
Ellis Genge on the prowl. Jonesy, he's just gone through some strengthening and priming routines with one of those gigantic elastic bands. The forces they put through their necks, even in their warm-up, look scary. Kevin Sinfield having a chat in his ear. He looks pumped up. Maybe Dan Cole's going to join him too, but definitely front row movements coming.
Yeah, Ellis Genge, Dan Cole, Theo Dan, the front row replacements for England. Alex Coles, who's been on with that Chesham HIA. Then Chandler Cunningham South, Danny Kerr, Finn Smith, and Emmanuel Feyi-Waboso are the rest of the England replacements. We'll give you the Wales reinforcements as Lloyd goes crossfield. That is a beauty to Dyer, and Dyer kicks, and Winnett could be in here, or is he going to go out of play? It just goes out of play. Invention from Wales, and almost brilliantly pulled off.
I tell you what, there's one thing, seeing the space, but it's another thing executing the kick, and that kick from Johan Lloyd was pinpoint. He put it right in the 5-metre channel for Dyer, and Dyer, what a kick behind. He realised England was so up behind, and just unfortunate. If that ball stays in field, Cameron Winnett scores that try.
I just wonder whether there was a little deflection there, you know.
100%, that was
a little
touched.
deflection. Was it Wales ball? I think this is Wales ball.
It is. And
it's touched.
Yeah, and the referee's onto it, and Elliot Dee has gone and snatched it off Jamie George. And look at Wales, you see the body language there. Okay, let's go to work here. 50 minutes gone at Twickenham. England 8, Wales 14, and Wales have the rolling ball perfectly set. Shades of Cardiff where they rolled Scotland over. Shades of the first half where they rolled England over. This one has just stalled, but Wales did make some ground. 6 or 7 metres, maybe a few more now. It's going to be England's scrum, isn't it? England have done well to snuff that ball out, and Wales may rue a big opportunity missed there. England 8, Wales 14. England scrum, but still deep in their own 22, Matt.
As much as it must be incredibly frustrating for a forward pack to get a really good drive in maul, and then when they give it to the backs get smashed behind the gain line, and then the ball gets kicked through and the forwards get their heads out, look up and turn around 50 yards behind. You think, what are you backs doing? That is the equivalent when a forward pack is driving at such momentum, and you know that there's going to be a few hands and England are just creeping around the sides. That realisation not to say, right, let's just get rid of this, let's get it on the deck, let's get it to the 9, let's get rid of it, it's risky. It's so frustrating.
England scrum as they make changes, as forecast by Paul Grayson on the touchline. Genge and Cole on for Marler and Stewart in that English front row. BBC Sport website, Football Daily, for all your football reaction. Huge game in Germany as well in the Bundesliga as Harry Kane bids for the Bundesliga title when Leverkusen lead in the top of the table clash. About 24 minutes gone. Leverkusen 1, Bayern 0. Stanisic scoring for Leverkusen as Bayern need to make up ground urgently, Bayern Munich that is, against Leverkusen, who lead 1-0 in that top of the table clash in the Bundesliga. Wales are looking to make subs as well, are they, Grace, as the scrum resets?
Yeah, Ryan Elias at hooker and Archie Griffin at prop, making his debut. Another Callow player straight in from Bath. It's amazing, really, isn't it? You go over the bridge, play a couple of games in the Prem, back you come, now you're playing for Wales.
Well, whether they have come with a team of seasoned Test match warriors or not, they have played like a bunch of players who know they're on the verge or can achieve something very special. Wales, they've punched well above their weight. The experienced guys have stepped up and the youth have looked to the manor born so far. Loads of rugby still to play. 53 minutes gone. England 8, Wales 14. England 5, maybe 8 metres from their goal line. What's the ref going to decide at the scrum? Big moments here in the set piece, Matt Dawson, as we have another reset.
Yeah, referee's got to get a grip of this. He's got to start making some decisions.
I need both your elbows.
I tell you, it's been quiet considering what we saw last week against Italy.
I've already just given them
Ethan Roos, I'm not sure you've mentioned him even in the comms yet, Chris. It's and you feel it should be that type of game for him. It should be someone that is testing Wales. He's got the footwork, he's got the strength, he's got that ability to really break the game up, but he just can't find his feet at the moment in the game.
There's no fluency in England's play, is there? Regardless of what year it is, and it's been a theme of the last few years. Same coaching teams, different coaching teams, still just that lack of fluency to really try and put teams under consistent pressure. Can England turn it around? Can Wales score next, which would certainly send shockwaves around Twickenham if they aren't there already. 55 minutes gone as England do resource the ball at the scrum, but James Hook, they're only 7 metres out from their own line as Mitchell prepares to kick. He does go for touch rather than distance. Well, it's both in the end. Excellent kick, Alex Mitchell. I'll just let you come in on that, Matt Dawson, as the former 9.
Yeah, and that's not an easy angle there. Probably only had maybe 8 or 9 metres to the touchline, and he's fired it probably 40 metres into touch, relieved a huge amount of pressure. That's what you need your scrum half to do.
Yeah, that's a great kick from Mitchell. I thought Thomas Williams did really well initially to bring Ben Earl down straight away, but like you say, Dawes, from that angle, for that distance, great kick.
Changes for Wales in the front row. Ryan Elias is on, preparing to throw, and as Paul Grayson was saying, Archie Griffin is on. I just want to check as well whether Corey Damachelski's on at loose head. It might be that Gareth Thomas is still on and at the front of the line now. So 2 changes in each front row at the moment. With 25 minutes to go, it is going to get very, very tight at Twickenham. Thomas Williams, Johan Lloyd inside their own half. Tompkins to George North, who bundles past a couple of England players. Thomas Williams, nice quick ball. Lloyd, through goes Winnett. They've beaten England's blitz there. Winnett gives it to Adams. Adams is one-on-one with Freeman, and he tries to get round him, goes inside to Dyer, who just about loses it. But such a dangerous attack from Wales. They cut England to bits there, James Hook.
We haven't seen much of him, we haven't mentioned him a lot, but watch this angle from Cameron Winnett. Great line, just gets on the inside of Elliot Daly, and it's all about patience and composure. Josh Adams tries to get that ball away. He does eventually to Rio Dyer, and he just knocks it on. But great attack from Wales again.
I mean, just from a defensive point of view, there's no point repeating what James has just gone through there with the attack, but from defence, George Ford has run the most brilliant scramble line to get in between that last passer
to stop Adams putting it inside.
From Dyer, I think it would have been from Dyer into Thomas Williams. It was sensational, because that's a try for all money. Beautiful angle. We saw Freeman hit some lovely angles last week against Italy, but Winnett, wow, in and out off the left foot. Cameron was flying.
Classic fullback play, old school.
It was, wasn't it? It was old school.
JPR style, wasn't it? He cut right through. You seldom see that, a fullback just comes straight into the line.
Yeah, I think obviously that's something Wales would have identified this week, because England are bringing so much line speed. You're going to create those dog legs, and the dog leg on that occasion was inside Elliot Daly. But you've got to see it, like I said earlier. It's one thing seeing it, but executing is another thing.
There's a little bit mirroring of how they defended against Italy, where that break came from quick ball, relatively midfield. You've got England really pressing up hard in that midfield, but if Wales win quick ball from that midfield collision, I don't think England can get around the corner quick enough. I think Wales have spotted that. They've replicated the sorts of moves that Italy have put on there. Warren Gatlin's out of his seat because he knows that's off the training park. He's seen that picture before.
Tell you what, Wales score next, and it might be hard for England to come back, but they win a penalty, a crucial pressure relieving penalty at the scrum, and England can go back, not into Welsh territory, still too far to go, they're only 10 metres from their line, but they can get out of the dark corners where they are now. And Paul Grayson on the touchline, your view of Winnett, he would have just raced past you.
Yeah, absolutely, going flat out. That's the trouble with the blitz. If there's ever any doubt and you don't fully commit, you're going to miss tackles. Elliot Daly came in. There was only one man he had to hit. All eyes on the fullback. Forget about the winger or whoever's outside him. If they go over the top, so be it. It doesn't matter. He has got to go, and if he goes, he's got to hit. What he did was went, paused, wondered about the ball over the top, and he was done. Great attack by Wales.
Jamie George to throw with England trailing 14-8. Nice drill. Chesham, Mitchell. Ben Earl adds some energy and some speed into that attack. Halfway line. Who is going to blink first? Who is going to score next? The game on a knife edge at Twickenham. 6 points in it.
He's just clearing it.
And Wales are showing that they can attack from deep and hurt England. Almost an hour gone. 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds as Mitchell sends another kick downfield a bit too far. Adams takes it, juggles with it, loses it, and Wainwright might be offside. Is the referee happy? If he gives a knock on, he might have to give a penalty. He's just given a scrum for now. England celebrate because they get a scrum in a really good attacking situation now, and they've come from 10 metres from their own line right up to the Welsh 22.
They have. Do you think they're winning over the crowd? I mean, when that box kick went up, I can just hear a load of boos from the England fans, and I know it's effective on this occasion. But I just can't believe that really deep down the England players are enjoying playing this style of rugby. I think if the shackles were just off a little bit here, fellas, you're really going to get more opportunities. You're going to enjoy yourself. And I'm now that I've said it about Ethan Roots, I'm watching him. He looks a little bit lost, Chris. The whole occasion is a bit overwhelming for what's going on. Whereas Ben Earl fizzing around the pitch, getting his hands on the ball, but too many England players are cruising.
Well, when will he go to his bench, Steve Borthwick? He's got Chandler Cunningham South there. He's got Manny Fayewabota if he wants some spark out wide. There's been a change in loose head for Wales with Domachowski on for Thomas. You wonder whether the message has come from England right. They need to turn this into an arm wrestle, a tussle, because Wales are showing that they can beat England's blitz and cause them real problems. If the game opens up, England might be in trouble.
I would say that England have tried to wrestle them, haven't they? I don't know. My impression is that so far England have probably wrestled more than thrown it around, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, Matt. You know, and I think when England have kicked, especially in the first half, the 50-50s were going towards Wales, but they haven't changed their tactic at all. I think they need more. If they're going to win this game, England, they need more and just kick around that middle third.
Well, England do have the scrum. England 8, Wales 14. We're into the final quarter. Do not go anywhere. If you're at home, out and about, in your car, keep us with you. If you've got to leave the house, BBC Sounds app, as England win another penalty. And now a decision for the England leadership group to make. And George Ford is making it clear here, Matt Dawson, they're going for the corner. No hint of taking the points. England know a converted try puts them in the lead for the first time today.
Yeah, well, what are Wales going to do? Are Wales going to chuck up a couple of pods and go for a gamble on the throw? Are they going to try and hold them out? Big decisions for Wales here, because you cannot imagine that England are going to do anything other than use their banker ball with Ollie Chesham and Maro Itoje.
On the line. How many you got?
Replacement for Wales, Josh Adams off, and Mason Grady is on, isn't he, on the right wing. George throws, Chesham takes it. Will England more? Yes, they will. Listen to Twickenham urging a heave. Wales have got a sideways shove on this England ball, but it looks really nicely formed for England. Jamie George has it, the skipper. Mitchell comes to the right. Mitchell dummies. He's almost under the post, Alex Mitchell. Despairing Welsh defence. Picked round the corner by Jamie George. 2 metres out England, maybe even fewer. 6 points in it at Twickenham. A converted try puts England ahead. Can Wales keep their discipline in defence? England have men to the right, men to the left. They may stick it up the jumper under the Wales crossbar though. 14-8 Wales lead at Twickenham, a place very, very few Wales teams have been in recent memory. England pick and go once more, up to the line, they're inches away. They pick and go, Mitchell's in there, all the forwards. It's going to be an effort from the big men up front. Now they sweep to the left through George Ford, but still it's going to be England and Ellis Genge. Genge up to the line, can he get the ball down on the post? No, not quite. It's short, says the referee Dolman. England have numbers to the left, they can surely execute. Chesham out one more, England pile on again. Brave Welsh defence, but is the Welsh dam going to burst? There for Mitchell, he goes to George Ford, Ford deep, great take Daly, into the corner, Fraser Dingwall scores. Listen to Twickenham.
Great patience from England. Heroic defence from Wales under their sticks. They thought they had a sniff. They thought they'd nicked the ball on a couple of those rucks. Ellis Genge trucks it up. Maro trucks it up. And you could just see George Ford just holding his opportunity, waiting to pounce. And it still needed finishing, James. It still needed to go.
It did. And like you say, Dawes, great patience. It all started from Alex Mitchell, the little half break, and the England forwards just sucked the Welsh defence in. Phase after phase, waiting for the time to strike. Went out the back to George Ford. Good hands from Elliot Daly. Nearly dropped that and put Dingwall in at the corner.
Great skill, Elliot Daly took it in one hand, didn't he? The pass wasn't perfect for him. Diving in the gully, managed to take it at the second attempt, and Dingwall gets his first test try. And for a guy who had to wait a long time to get his first cap, he will remember that moment forever. George Ford for the lead for England. It's sliding to the left. Wales remain in front. England 13, Wales 14. It's a 1-point ball game at Twickenham. Paul Grayson, your view of that England try from the touchline?
Yeah, he's had a tough time actually. Fraser Dingwall got run around for the last try in Italy last week. George North got over the top of him in the first half, but second half he's started to come into the action. A couple of good passes, a couple of good carries, and then he was hanging out on the wing, desperate for that ball to come wide to him. Really pleased for him.
Chandler Cunningham South is on, age just 20. A second cap for the Harlequin, a first experience of Twickenham. He is on for Sam Underhill as England through Mitchell clear, but James Hook, not a bad opportunity for Wales inside the England half, just a bit close to the 10-metre line in the 22, but deep in English territory.
Yeah, and I think Wales now, they can't go into their shell. They were outstanding in the first half. 15 minutes in this game, just over 15 minutes left. Wales have got to keep playing the way they did in the first half. Don't go into their shell, keep causing England problems.
Wales don't win the line out, and this is where the inexperience of Wales might just start to tell, and where the Twickenham factor could be significant. England are going to attack from their own half. No, they're not. They're going to kick through Slade, trying to pin Winnett back. Decent kick, Slade. Winnett lets it bounce a couple of times, then clears. Slightly got under that. Good opportunity for Ford to counter-attack. We're going to Forest shortly, but let's see what England can do from this. Ben Earl in centre field. Slightly slow ball for England, so let's go to the City Ground and Lee Blakeman.
Forest 1, Newcastle 2. High ball into the area. Botman headed it down. Nicely finished off by Cher. Into the bottom corner for the edge of the area. 2 minutes to go until the break. Forest 1, Newcastle 2.
Cheers, Lee. That is over on Sports Extra. Forest against Newcastle.
Let's go, 9. Let's go.
Our second Premier League commentary of the day. As always, we're all across the sporting world on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds on a Saturday afternoon. Good take, Mason Grady, James Hook. Under 15 minutes to go now, guys. How are your nerves?
Excellent take, Grady. I think it's all about composure from Wales. But obviously in the wrong area of the pitch, so they need a little bit of territory.
Yeah, I am a little bit edgy. I've got to, because you just feel that Wales are going to carry on the way they have. They are going to go out there and risk it all. I don't care. Even though, a long, wide, up and under.
Mitchell, nice snipe. Then England throw a loose pass. Cunningham himself overran it a bit, but England do have it after Lloyd's kick went really high, but not very far. Ford, do England have numbers? Oh, he's thrown a Hail Mary out to the far side. At last, Tommy Freeman's on the ball, and he's gone past a couple of Welshmen inside the 22. England just starting to play with a bit of rare fluency. They go into the 22, they drive on. Therefore Mitchell, George Ford, Ollie Chesham. Tommy Raffel's on that ball, he's brilliant on the floor, Raffel. Can't quite force the turnover. I'm not sure he set up for it, Dawson, but we're in Marseille where George Ford dropped all those goals. Will he be thinking about that with the game really in the balance? Ford now to Cunningham South. Cunningham South. All energy and physicality. Mitchell, Ellis against the vice-captain. Ford, they've got numbers here, England. Dingwall, lovely hands. Henry Slade, over to Freeman. It's the best rugby England have played all game. 3 or 4 metres in from the touchline, Freeman. Wales, oh, what an effort on the counter-ruck. Slowing England's ball up. That's what playing for Wales means, Callow side or not, underdogs or not. They have emptied the tank for Welsh. And they've turned it over.
I think they've nicked it.
Oh, that's extraordinary defence from the Welsh, just when England were stretching them. We're almost in the final 10. England 13, Wales 14. As Thomas Williams is poised, will Wales get another chance? Or will this English momentum just start to tell? Thomas Williams, decent kick downfield. Is it going out of play? No. Stewart is going to run it back as Twickenham gets behind the big fullback. Into George North. That's good strength by Wales to stop Stewart in his tracks and almost force them all. There for Mitchell. Now here's Roots, driven on by vice-captain Genge. Centre field, 10-metre line back to Ford, who's going to put up a spiral bomb. Oh, this is horrible for Winnett. Who wants to take that? Nobody. It then bounces out of play. And England, well, Wales will have the line out. That could have been so much worse for Wales. And it's turned out pretty well. Let's go to Paul Grayson. That's right in front of you on the touchline, Grace.
What a piece of skill that is from George Ford. Drops into the pocket. Spiral bombs hard enough when you've got nothing going on around you, let alone Welshman trying to charge you down. It was too good for everybody in the end. But from where I'm sitting, about 30 yards from where it landed, in the last 15 metres of its ball flight, it must have swerved about 4 or 5 metres left to right. Almost impossible to catch.
That was one of the sweetest spiral bombs I've ever seen in my life. That was, as Grace said, under that much pressure. What a piece of skill.
Right, Danny Kerr is on to a big reaction from the Twickenham crowd as we go to Rangers Scottish FA Cup 5th round. It's half-time. Rangers Ayr United. Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, Rangers 1, Ayr United 0. The 10th minute goal from Borna Barisic, the difference between the sides so far. It looked ominous at that point for Ayr United, but they've hung on well. 1-0 at half-time.
Thanks a lot, Kenny. I think Kenny's got over what happened at Murrayfield. I mean, you might never get over that as a Scottish player. How close was that? Scotland 16, France 20. The score doesn't tell the story. Scotland had what they thought was a try, agonisingly ruled out with a TMO. The finest of margins, the tightest of calls. It went France's way, and Scotland's Grand Slam dream has died on weekend 2, and only England and Ireland can now win the Slam. as Wales kick through. Lloyd, that's clever, and it's back in Welsh possession. This is really good from Wales because they're challenging England in lots of different ways. Dafford Jenkins, 1 point in it, 11 minutes left at Twickenham. Thomas Williams, big collision between Cunningham South and Griffin, just short of the halfway line. Back to Lloyd, and Lloyd kicks, it's come off Cole, then it's been... it's ricocheted around. Who has eventually got that? I think it's in Welsh possession. It is. Thomas Williams goes out to win it. Really impressive for a young guy on only his second cap here, James Hook. Cameron gives as good as he gets, doesn't he?
He's been brilliant. He's been so comfortable on the ball, whether it's high ball in hand, hitting hard lines, making breaks. Just looks so composed. Doesn't look like it's his second cap in front of 80,000 in Twickenham.
And now we're at that stage of the test match. Matt Dawson, we've done many of these together, where every single facet of the game could be decisive. As Thomas Williams kicks, great take, Freddie Stewart. Under pressure from Dyer. Now will England look to run it? They've only got 2 men out there. Ford is slightly caught. He drifts, or he looks for a 50-20. That's some kick from Ford. Oh, that's incredible. We need to check whether that's a 50-22, but that is sheer genius from George Ford. It is a 50-22. What a moment. Talking about significant plays, is that one there?
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, it's 50-22.
Huge moment in the game. What a carry, a catch. Rather from Freddie Stewart there. That was massive. He's gone from a good 15-20 metres away, soared into the air over Dyer's shoulder. I mean, does not care at all about his safety.
I agree, James.
Lands on his back, and that gave England George Ford the room and the space on that phase ball to find a 50-22, and what an opportunity for England. It's not going to get any better.
Yeah, it's a great kick. I think the Welsh defence thought they did their job, forced George Ford back inside. He picked his head up, and what a strike, and what a position now for England.
We'll get Paul Grayson's take on that kick, but let's see what England can do. 12 metres out, they take it at the line out. Twickenham just wants one thing: an England maul, an England try to put them in the lead for the first time this afternoon and break this inspired Welsh resistance. Danny Care's on. Out the back it goes. Ford. Oh, there's going to be trouble here because Wales have knocked the ball on deliberately. Mason Grady. It's going to be a yellow card, I think. It's definitely a penalty. Another huge moment in this test match.
So are we thinking just yellow for me? I only have just yellow. Yeah, okay, time's off.
They're going to have a look for the penalty try, but Grady's in trouble either way.
England were a long way out with a few passes to make with Welsh cover.
Is a clear overlap? I just want to confirm there's nothing more.
Yes, okay, James. So we're checking potential deliberate knock-on, and we're interested in the cover.
I mean, it's a definite yellow card, isn't it? There's no question about that. And there was a chance that he could have just popped it up and caught it. It was a good proper slap when he's gone for the interception. But unfortunately Grady's in a bit of bother.
Get your wider angle here, James.
Is he back to rights, James?
Yeah, I think
he's your wide angle, James.
Yeah, we're watching this angle now, whether it's a penalty try. It's a definite yellow.
No, but
there's too much cover.
It's when the try probably would have been scored. There's too much cover, isn't there? Both of you guys are on that straight away. Paul Grayson, your view from the touchline. Big moment in the test match.
Absolutely, the boys have picked it perfectly. It was just an instinctive grab for the ball there for deliberate knock-on. Covering defence, only one England attacker outside Stewart, so it was covered. Won't be a penalty try, but from a poor decision initially by George Ford around the halfway line, he went to go left, realised there was no one there. Just a sensational bit of individual skill to go back and find the space, and the execution on that 50-22, stunning.
93rd cap, George Ford, he's showing his class. Both with the little ball there that forced Grady to knock on, and also that 50-22 that gave England field position. We're going to go to Forrest in a sec, but let's just see if Ford kicks this goal to put England in the lead for the first time this afternoon. It is bang in front, 20 metres out. England 13, Wales 14, 9 minutes to go. He doesn't have to worry about going early. They can't chase it because it's a penalty. This kick from Ford puts England into the lead at Twickenham. How Wales have made them work, but Ford slams it through. 8 minutes still to play. England 16, Wales 14 to the City Ground. Lee.
Forest are level again. Forest 2, Newcastle 2. Callum Hudson-Odoi picked the ball up, edge of the area, put in a shot, deflection, took it past Dubravka. It's Forest 2, Newcastle 2, and that's half-time as well, Chris.
Thanks very much, Lee Blakeman. Over on Sports Extra, Ali Bruce Ball, Stephen Kelly, with full commentary of Forest Newcastle. What a game as well, 4 first-half goals. Thanks to Lee for keeping us up to date on 5 Live. OK, Matt Dawson. England 16, Wales 14, Jamie George the skipper off, and Dan on. Are Wales going to get another opportunity? You feel they might. It's just on the knife edge still, isn't it?
Yeah, I do. It's 2 points, Chris, isn't it? There's going to be a drop goal. There's going to be a chance at a drop goal at some stage. And it's going to be fresh in the minds after that World Cup. It's vital. So England got to get their exit right. Energy, actually, from Chandler Cunningham-Smith's been good since he's come on. Good trucking up, good tackles. Just giving England a little bit of bite with the ball.
I mentioned Forest Newcastle. Just a reminder, we will go to that after the conclusion of events here at Twickenham and get the bulk of the second half at the City Ground. Good kick, Danny Kerr, who's on as a replacement. He sent that into the Welsh half from around his own 22. Time off, 7.5 minutes to go. Swing Low Street Chariot round Twickenham, not heard it a lot because Wales have had the scoreboard in their favour right up until the 72nd minute. But England now lead. England 16, Wales 14, and James Hook, Wales need composure above their years here.
Yeah, they do. And these are the minutes that Gatland calls the championship minutes, the last 10 minutes of a game. 2 points in it. How are the nerves of Johan Lloyd and Kieran Hardy at 9, who's just come on?
England have spoiled the line out. Not straight. And England got up and Wales may have knocked it on. So England have a scrum. And is this where Matt Dawson, all the talk of evolution and attacking rugby, you go scrum penalty territory and you try and win the game down there?
Yeah, let's be honest. In this position last week, I don't think England were good enough. They were 10 points ahead. The game was there to make some better decisions than England did and let Italy back into it to get towards 3 points. Yeah, very different on the scoreboard, different on the pressure with the game. But still, there are some huge decisions for Danny Kerr and George Ford to be making here because you know there are some key moments still to be had in this last 4 or 5 minutes. They're going to be there for the taking, both sides. I think the game is there for the taking.
Yeah, and that was a massive moment there from a Welsh point of view. That line out not straight.
Hold on, boys.
But then England give the free kick away, and that's where a front row with Dan Cole and Ennis Genge and a 9 with 98 cap. That's a miss from England, isn't it? Yep. You've got the scrum. Just make it count, put the pressure back on Wales, but Wales now have the free kick and Lloyd just thumps it skyward. Has it gone too far? Oh, it's a horrible dead duck kind of ball. Has Stewart taken that? How good is he in the air? Because that ball was not a spiral, but it didn't look easy to catch. England on their own 22. A penalty for Wales would put them back into the lead and could win this test match. England 16, Wales 14 after Scotland lost earlier. Only England and Ireland can win the slam, and if England lose here, then it's only Ireland. Kerr's kick is perfect. Ball's bouncing all over the place. It is in England's hands, and they could stretch Wales here. Dan throws a dummy and goes on the charge. The rookie hooker from Saracens, replacing his captain. They're narrow in defence here, Wales. What's Ford looking for another 50-22? He smashed his boot through it. Has it gone too far? Dyer's over on the far side, but England clearly looking to play territory. Dyer kicks. Decent kick, Rio Dyer. Ford traps it with his foot and sends up a Gary Owen asking Stewart to chase. Dropping outside the 10. He's taken it, Stewart, all going England's way. There for Kerr down the short side. They might be away. Tommy Freeman almost up to the 22. Under 5 minutes to go at Twickenham. England lead by 2. Earl, Ford, they may have numbers. Stewart, he throws a dummy and tries to go past Tompkins. In centre field for Kerr. Good quick ball. George Ford, inside he goes to Dan. Much better from England. Theo Dan, what an impact with ball in hand. There for Danny Kerr, wide to Earl. Earl's pass is loose but picked up neatly by try scorer Dingwall. Dingwall over the 22. England could kill the game off. Penalty Wales. Wales hanging on and coming up with a huge play, and of course it's Tommy Raffel. Wales still alive with 4.5 minutes to go. England 16, Wales 14.
And how big is that turnover? or may it be for Wales. As you said, Chris, Rafael has been everywhere in attack over the ball. And is that the penalty that's going to give Wales one more opportunity to try and win this game? I think the bench of England have been brilliant, though. The impact, the carries off the bench have been brilliant.
Yeah, Theo Dan, Cunningham South, Danny Kerr just doing the simple things at pace well. And it's the sort of moment where someone like Danny Kerr just get to ruck, pass. Oh, hole, go through. Don't need to force it, it will happen.
Wales win the line out through Will Rowlands, the experienced lock.
Second's good, it's a tackle, ball
it's
is
a tackle, so England won't get the scrum for getting that to ground. Wales have the ball. We are in the stage of the match now where the next point could win it. Carried on by Ryan Elias. Wales are inside their own half, but they're not a million miles away from penalty or drop goal range. Can England keep their discipline? Can Wales keep composure and accuracy? 3 minutes left at Twickenham as Wales, through Hardy, almost go through a hole. They've got to be careful of Hardy. He scored 2 years ago in this fixture. There for Ryan Elias, he trucks it on the hooker. They're inside English territory now as England look to counter-ruck. We'll be with Paul Grayson on the touchline to get his perfect view of proceedings. Johan Lloyd almost through. Tackled eventually by Cole and Cunningham South. There for Wainwright, driven on by Tain Basham as the Wales replacements try and make an impact. Tompkins jutted in the tackle, but one penalty and Wales will have a chance to win this game. They're 42-3 metres from the England goal line. They go once more. What an introduction to Test Rugby, Archie Griffin. He carries up the Bath rookie. Tompkins short ball. Slade's all over him, as is Cunningham South. That's great strength, Cunningham South. That is superb stuff from the Harlequin. He may have turned it into a maul. No, it's down. And Wales still have it, and still they go through the phases as Genge tackles Aaron Wainwright. 45 metres out Wales. What have they got from this kind of distance? England shoot out the line.
Yeah, they're so close to that offside line, Chris, England, aren't they? They are on the edge.
Johan Lloyd out to George North. Can the veteran spark something? One of Wales's all-time greats. They're still 50 metres though from the England line. 2 points in it and under 2 minutes to go at Twickenham. 5 Live and BBC Sound, your home of the Six Nations, as England try and keep Wales at bay. What an effort from this young Welsh side. What an effort though from the young England flanker Cunningham South to rock back Wainwright, and Wales have to go from 60 out. A tackle by Genge on North. Only 90 seconds to play at Twickenham. England 16, Wales 14. Can England get outside, win it? Great ball. He shrugged off the tackle. And now Wales still keeping the ball alive, but 18 phases, James Hook. What's going through those Welsh players' minds?
They need to get a bit of width. England are really narrow, so if Wales get some width and try and get it in the hands of Rio Dyer, it's going to cause England problems. They can't just go one-up runners now in this last minute.
They kick, all on the bounce. Stewart takes it, and Stewart storms over the 10, and he kicks ahead. Oh, look at Freddie Stewart go. This could be a brilliant individual effort. No, back go Wales, but England have Wales where they want them. And to the soundtrack of Swing Low Sweet Chariot, England may have done enough to win this game. 45 seconds to play, 2 points in it. Wales have to go 80 plus.
Just a monumental defensive set from England. Felix Jones, applaud you, my friend. The organisation at their death. 80 minutes of hardcore rugby, and England are just swarming all over what looked like a drunken Welsh side.
Wales crossfield kick. Dyer takes it. Now he's gone out of play. Daly was flirting with taking him out in the air, but I don't think the officials are going to give that. Dyer may have been out already. Dyer is remonstrating. Wales had to come up with something from 90 odd metres. They wait for the crossfield. They will check whether Ford's taken Dyer. Might be a penalty here, guys. George Ford on Rio Dyer.
Yep.
What do you think? Or are you happy?
I'm not sure I see
10 Wales
too much in it. I'm just overwhelmed by both sides. Their energy, their ability to go through so many phases at that intensity, and they're hardly breathing, but they're not like hands on their legs. I mean, we'd be bent over double by now after 20 phases, Hookie. This is unbelievable in the 80th minute.
Johan Lloyd is off. You've got to say fair play, Johan Lloyd.
Yeah, we don't.
It hasn't all gone his way, but he's been inventive, Hookie. He's made things happen.
Yeah, he has, and he had to today. I think his kicking game, his short kicking game, as we expected coming into the game, was brilliant. I thought, it was really accurate. He was a running threat. He was down with cramp after about 60 minutes. He's carried on right until the 80th minute, and young Kai Evans is on the pitch now. I tell you what, if this penalty's given, if he gives a penalty here, Kai Evans has got a massive boot. Anything within 50, 55 metres.
Paul Grayson on the touchline as both sets of players take some water on. We're about to restart. Your view of that breathless last period?
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? It started right literally in front of me around the 10-metre line in the England half, and then tackle after tackle after tackle. They drove Wales back further and further back. It became more and more desperate. Wales went to the air. Freddie Stewart, great catch and a line break. He's been magnificent today under the high ball in attack and defence. I didn't think he needed to kick it away, to be honest. I thought England should have held on to the ball, but you can see just the change in body language down here on the two benches. England up against it for most of the game. Suddenly Wales staring down the barrel.
England a line out away from victory. The clock is up. Can they win it? Yes, they can. Dan to Coles. Coles protects that ball like it's his baby. And Danny Kerr is going to kick this out. Yes, he will. Kerr kicks it out, and England win. They beat Wales at Twickenham by the skin of their teeth. Pushed all the way by an inspired effort from a young Welsh side. But England have dug really, really deep. And they're 2 from 2 just about in the Six Nations. And that Grand Slam dream is still alive. Only Ireland and England can still reach the Holy Grail. So much still to go. So many matches still to play. But England just about have won again. Pushed all the way by Wales. Final score at Twickenham. England 16, Wales 14. Matt Dawson, James Hook, and then Mark Chapman.
Yeah, I have to say, a great second half from England. They came out from that shed knowing that they were behind, knowing that they needed to really sort of improve the simple things, the little parts of the England performance. It just wasn't up to it in that first half. Probably the largest improvement from last week is the bench today. Massive difference from Cunningham South. I thought Danny Kerr came on, looked sharp. Theo Dan, sharp. Injected that little bit of pace, that little bit of dynamism into the England side that added to their defence. James Hook was just enough.
Yeah, I thought they were brilliant second half. England, 14 points to 5 down at half time, and they were staring down the barrel of defeat there. And I thought, like you say, Dawson, the defence of England was brilliant. The impact of the Sebs, I thought George Ford, his kicking game was good. It was accurate. There were moments, big moments in that game, like that 50-22, which allowed the 3 points towards the end of the game. And to hold Wales scoreless in that second half is credit to England. But what about Wales? I thought they were brilliant. Nobody given the hope, really. This young team, again, they'll take a lot from this.
Quick word from you, Paul Grayson. What are the celebrations like around you? Oh no, we'll get Grace later on. Let's go back to Chappers. England 16, Wales 14 full-time.
I don't know whether do you sense at the moment that Wales might get more praise in defeat than England in victory, Matt?
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment, Chappers, to be honest. Wales, we knew that they had to throw something different at England today. No matter how well they played in that second half, if they turned up in either of the mentality of either half last week, I think England would have lapped it up and probably would have won by maybe 10 or 15. Now that's very easy to say, but to come to Twickenham with that youthful squad and to go for it, not only from their own half but from Wales's 22, they were prepared for crossfield kicks, they were prepared to fling the long passes, and they made a couple of mistakes, but they also made breaks, and it scared England. They had that little bit of we're in control of the game here, but all of a sudden Wales are wriggling their way out of it, and it built momentum. It wasn't really until that sort of second half where England just got that penalty, then they scored the try, and it was, it's a big mountain, not necessarily to climb because they were still leading, but to hold on to. And you felt in that second half very much that Wales were holding on to it rather than maintaining the pressure that they were delivering in that first half.
Yeah, James, I suppose the problem for Wales is you don't really want praise from valiant defeats.
No, you don't. And, I think England have had the fight of their life there, particularly in that first half. But, yeah, I think that the last two games, the first half last week simply wasn't good enough from Wales. But they came back in that second half, showed the quality of these young individuals. And I think from the off today, they gave us what we wanted in terms of the way we wanted to start the game. I think they were brilliant. I think Tommy Raphael was excellent, whether it was over the ball, in the loose. They tried to break down that rush defence of England, and they succeeded at times. And I think, you've got to credit England in that second half. They were a lot more composed. Their defence was better. And, it's only small margins in international rugby. The odd line-out went awry for Wales in that second half, didn't allow them to get the territory in order for us to perhaps get the 3 points we needed. But a great game of rugby from both teams.